So the Z's been rear-ended.
So yeah, the car was rear-ended. It was actually on this very freeway where it happened. I was on my way home from work. It was just before lockdown happened. God, I miss being able to go out. So what had happened was I was on my way home from work. I was in the far left lane. I was coming up on some stop-and-go traffic, and me with my Akabonos, you know, I'm able to hit the brake pedal, and the car actually comes to a stop. The guy behind me, however, didn't have Akabonos. He wasn't able to come to a stop in time, and as a result, he ended up rear-ending me. So, here's what the damage looks like. Alright guys, you caught me. The damage wasn't actually that bad. So what had happened was I was coming to a stop, I saw in my rear view mirror, this guy was barreling towards me way too fast, and I thought that I was actually going to be in a serious wreck. He managed to slam on his brakes, but it wasn't going to be enough. If he had kept going straight forward into me, he definitely would have rear-ended me, and I think it might have totaled the car. Fortunately, the guy had the presence of mind to swerve to the right, and as a result, my bumper barely got scuffed. We got out, we took a look at the cars. His car, surprisingly, actually took a ton of damage. I don't really know what happened, and I don't have any photos of it. His hood wouldn't even close. It had popped up. His bumper was in bad shape. I don't actually know how I managed to get out with as little damage as I did. As far as accidents go, what should happen ideally is I should have gone ahead and taken his insurance. But before you guys get on my case for not taking down his insurance and filing a claim, let me explain.
So there's a couple of reasons why I didn't end up taking the guy's information. The first is, if I were to file an insurance claim, more than likely what would happen is they would see that the damage on the car was fairly minor, and they would end up going and just repainting the bumper. That's not exactly what I want though. I mean, yes, the bumpers were originally painted the wrong color, and it's still in fairly good condition. But because of the accident I had in November, I ended up having to rip the bumpers out of the car, and as a result, the tabs that hold the bumpers at the corners don't really lock into place anymore, so the fit's not quite perfect. If they were to replace the bumper, I would end up just getting an OEM bumper back. You see, with the insurance company, I don't have a say in the part that I can get. They're just going to look up the VIN number on the vehicle, order the stock bumpers, and then I'm going to have a set of bumpers that I'm just going to replace later in the future anyways. So I didn't really want them to fix it. And if I were to file an insurance claim in the first place, it would end up just leaving an accident on this vehicle's history, and there's currently no reported accidents on the vehicle. So it could hurt the resale value of the car in the future if I decide to go and sell it later. I could go and just take the cash if I really wanted to, but again, there would still be an accident on the car. I don't really know how much they would even give me for that if I told them I was going to fix it myself, so I didn't really care to do that. Plus, there's no guarantee the guy even had insurance. He actually seemed to be really adamant about just sending me on my way, and he seemed to be really skittish about giving me any of the details for his insurance company. Again, the damage was really minor on my car. I actually felt bad for the guy because his hood wouldn't even close, and most of the damage was to his bumper, surprisingly. I don't really know how that happened, so I ended up just letting the guy go. But the biggest reason why I decided not to file an insurance claim was that I already had new bumpers laying around. That's right, we have brand new Nismo bumpers on the 370. I knew this is what I was going to want to do after the accident. I knew I wanted to get them replaced. The front was completely destroyed. The rear got a little bit of damage, and as I said, I had to rip them out so the little screw holes weren't exactly intact anymore. So I ended up ordering replacement bumpers a couple of weeks after my accident. Ordered them from Z1 Motorsports. I had been trying to find a paint guy for a couple of months because I didn't want a repeat of the issue I had a couple of years ago, where the guy ended up painting it the wrong color. So I finally found a guy that was reputable. He paint matched the car almost perfectly. I can barely see a difference in the paint between the bumpers and the fenders, so I'm really happy with the color of the paint. But this did leave me with a bit of a problem. You see, I wrapped my car last year. I did the entire car in vivid space pearl. I did almost all the panels myself. I had a shop do the bumpers. I was never really happy with the work that had been done on the bumpers. The vinyl didn't look completely clean, but I really loved the color, and I've had tons of compliments on it. People really love the blue sheen that comes out when the sun hits it. It kind of helps protect the paint too, but it does also scratch and stain a little bit sometimes. If you leave a bit of crap or whatever on it, it can sometimes stain the vinyl. Plus, vinyl doesn't really last forever, and the sooner you can peel it off, the easier it is to take off. So I ended up, ultimately, after some confliction and thinking about it, I did end up taking the vinyl off, which is really sad. I love that color, and someday I kind of want to go back. But I also missed the sort of flakes that are in the regular paint. I kind of missed that sparkle a little bit. The Space Pearl was a little bit more flat. But I think one day I might try and go back to that color. Maybe if I learn how to paint myself, I can start a paint booth and maybe paint it up in that Space Pearl again. But I did ultimately decide to remove the vinyl, or at least I have most of the vinyl removed. I still need to do the trunk and the roof, so let's go ahead and get that removed now. Unfortunately, progress does seem to be really slow, but at least the wrap is peeling up in one sheet. Because it's so new, it's not actually tearing up like a lot of older wraps do, but it does take quite a lot of force just to get it peeled up. Alright, so what do you guys think? Spoiler? No spoiler. Spoiler? No spoiler. Comment down below. What do you think? Personally, I like the look of the spoiler, and I think that the flat trunk on the back of the Z kind of warrants it. It seems like something's just supposed to be there. And the spoiler is actually functional with the adjusting holes, and it does have the right shape to be able to generate downforce on a track. There is only one way to know that for sure, and that would be to get into a wind tunnel. And I did find out that recently my alma mater, UTD, the mechanical engineering department, does have a new wind tunnel, so I wonder if I ask nicely enough if they'll let me use it. I don't know. Here is the big ball of wrap now that it's been taken off of the car. I think it weighs at least like a pound. Like, there's a lot of wrap here. To be honest though, looking at this, it kind of makes me a little bit sad. I've really grown fond of this color, and I got a ton of compliments on it too. It's really difficult to capture just how nice this looks on camera, but I had gotten tons of compliments on it, and it just looked really amazing on the car. And I'm sad to take it off, but I mean, I was originally trying to go for this in the first place when I first got Nismo bumpers, and they just hadn't paint matched it correctly the first time. The other guy that I used didn't know what he was doing, and the only reason I even wrapped it was because it saved me quite a lot of money just doing all the work myself. I'm a bit sad though to see the color go. I might try and get the car in this color again someday. Maybe I'll try and paint it, maybe I'll rewrap it, I honestly don't know. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy being back to the original paint and enjoying the way that it looks. Now, the installation of these bumpers isn't quite complete yet. I still need to get the DRLs for the front bumper. I didn't even have those on the original Nismo bumper, simply because I was conflicted on if I wanted to get the OEM ones, which cost like $1,200 or something for the set, or if I want to get like Evo R's little 4 or 5 count LED lights that he has, which is about half the price. And I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to order some higher quality LEDs to replace the stock ones with, because I hear that the ones he provides are pretty shit. And I'd also like to add some animation to it one day, maybe use a microcontroller or some sort of box to allow the LEDs to animate as you're putting on turn signals, similar to what like the newer Mustangs do. I think that'd be a pretty fun project to do one day. So I need to do that. I also need to order a new third brake light. The one that I have on the back now, which is the gray one, the smoke gray, provided from Evo R. I didn't realize that when you hit the brakes, it just blinks constantly. So I've actually been turning it on and off with a little switch that I have installed here in the car, because whenever I'm in stop and go traffic, I don't want the guy behind me to just see my light going all the time. The red ones, however, is kind of closer to the animation that I want. It blinks a few times and then just turns solid red after a while. So I'm going to order a new third brake light from him as well, probably. I'm probably going to get that stuff ordered today. I'll show you guys the installation process for all that, as usual. But overall, extremely happy with the replacement bumpers. I'm glad I finally got the new Nismo front end. I really prefer it over the stock fascia. I think it looks a lot more aggressive. And I think it's going to be fun to play with some of the venting on it too. I'd kind of like to add disc brakes into the car at some point. If I can get hold of like a 3D printer or something, I might work on trying to 3D print out like a vent for the brakes, which I think would be pretty cool. That is going to be it for this video, guys. This is probably going to be the last video you see with the 370Z before the supercharger kit comes in. I've got a couple more videos planned with the Sentra between now and then. I've got to replace the AC clutch unit to allow the AC to actually start working again. It's summer now, so it's kind of getting hot here in Texas.
I'm also gonna kind of go through the list of everything that's wrong with that car right now. I'm gonna be trying to fix over the next year in it to try and get it looking nicer. It's about a 10-year-old car now, so I'm just trying to fix some of the things on it. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Stay tuned for the supercharger build. I hope you guys are staying safe at home, and thank you for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Later.